It's not biblical. What are you talking about? Don't encourage me with that line. I enjoy being a strong woman, but sometimes I want to lean on somebody too. Yes, that's the full scripture Jesus with. And I love when she said it. I was like, oh, yeah. Where are the O's? Hi, Survivalies. Welcome to my podcast. Yes, my podcast home for But Did You Die? Chaos, lessons, and laughs. This is the very first episode. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for showing up and click and play. And so in this podcast, we're going to talk about survival mode, relationships, toxic patterns, church hurt, and anything that's related to being a strong Black woman. And this podcast is really a safe space for all who are unlearning survival mode. So in today's podcast, we are going to talk about the meaning of But Did You Die? Why I picked that name, and talk a little bit about the stories behind But Did You Die? Talking about Black identity, Christianity, culture, and all the above. And so welcome to my podcast. I am your host, Monique R. Darnell, licensed professional counselor, mother, author, soft life doula, and of course, Black woman. So on this show, like I said before, we explore all of those different topics in addition to But Did You Die? It's a phrase that shows up in pop culture and in our communities. Half joked, half pep talk. Like, but did you die? So I really want to bring emphasis on how it is a badge of resilience, and other times it can minimize what hurts us. So I want to bring a safe space for us to talk about that. So in today's first episode, we're just really going to dive in on what that really means to me and what it means to you. And I would like for you guys to, enjoy the show. So first thing first is, where did I get this from? And if she's watching, no, you don't get any proceeds. Of course, we know it's my mother. This But Did You Die is a Black culture thing. And it's not, we own it, but we do say it a lot to our children, and we say it as a joke, but in a way of toughen up, because but did you die? You made it. So why are you complaining? Stop whining, stuff like that. So celebrating perseverance while skipping the emotional and mental care that perseverance is important. But however, I want to talk a little bit about, is that perseverance or is it ignoring my pain? In the Black communities, it's used as a marker of resilience, survival, and sometimes dismisses our trauma. So we were taught to hold on, buckle down, don't make a scene, be strong. Strength is rewarded as being, again, the strong Black woman, right? How many have been called the strong Black woman? And it's something to be proud of. But however, anybody asking the question of why am I the strong Black woman? What put me in this position to be the strong Black woman, which really kind of isolated me from help? People don't want to help me. Help. So I want to talk about there's a difference between strength and self-abandonment, right? Strength tells the truth while self-abandonment hides the truth. So in cultural expectation and strength, our culture oftentimes, like I said before, rewards survival over being present, over healing, over being vulnerable, over a lot of things, right? So the strong Black woman, we all know, is a stereotype. It lifts and uplifts, but it is also a burden as well. Like I said, nobody's asking, why am I the strong Black woman? I enjoy being a strong woman, but sometimes I want to lean on somebody too. The pressure to push through, like to keep going and to going. It's a never ending story for a strong Black woman in these streets. In these streets, right? Like we're expected to keep pushing, to keep it pushing, because who else is going to do it for us? So push through instead of addressing emotional and spiritual well-being. Sometimes you'll hear things like, of course, but did you die? Well, at least you got a roof over your head. If any of these hit a nerve, like they say in the church, hit a nerve, like put a hand up in the comments, baby. Please put a hand up in the comment and share your own. At least you got that. We didn't have anything. Oh, that just felt like it just sent chills through my body. Because probably I've heard that a couple of times. All right. Others have it worse. Now, I don't know if I should say this one because, I don't know. But yeah, we all know what I'm about to say. There's other people in other places that's hungry and don't have it. So, yeah, we've heard that. That's just life. You'll get over it. Ooh, get over it. It just speaks to the perspective of struggle. Just push through it. Just get over it. Dismiss my pain. Dismiss what I'm feeling. Dismiss. Stop crying. That's not going to solve anything. I know for sure the younger generation kind of hears that a lot, or they'll say crying is not going to solve anything, so why cry? We didn't talk about our feelings back then. Okay, maybe y'all should have. Some things like I worked 2 jobs and nobody helped me. You'll figure it out. Oh, figure it out. Figure it out. With what? Okay, all right. So buckle down and figure it out, right? I had much worse. It was back in my days. I had a much worse back in my days. You'll survive. Just punch me in my stomach, Or for the Christians, God didn't give you more than you can handle. So I want to talk about that real quick. Who came up with this? God has the biggest struggles or the hardest struggles for his toughest soldiers. Who came up with that? I don't like that. Don't try to encourage me with that line. It's not biblical. What are you talking about? Don't encourage me with that line. I would rather you say, but did you die? Like God gives the hardest struggles for his toughest soldiers. Is that what he did with Moses and Daniel? They was tough. So I don't think Moses was tough, but nevertheless, don't be weak. You got this. I think, being a Black woman, we don't have that luxury. Well, I don't want to say weak, but we don't have the luxury to appear weak, to cry, to be vulnerable. That's a sign of weakness. So we don't always have that luxury. Keep it moving. No one's got time for all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Pick it up, pick up your stuff and go. Dust your feet and go. So these are dismissive tones and attitudes. If you have said this to your loved one, to your kids, to other people, and you meant well, try again, sis. Try again. You are saying something like, I'm telling you something, and you're just saying something really quickly to just shrug me off, as if it's not that deep. That's a minimizing tone. Comparative suffering, as if you went through more, and mine is, it's not important. Measuring your pain against someone else's pain. At least you're not homeless or in jail, worse off like so and so. It's like a push on, you need to be grateful. Okay, yes, I am grateful. I am happy that I am in this place. However, where is the soft landing for me to express? And maybe we should really reevaluate who we're talking to. Silencing commands. Hush. Don't air out family's business. Keep that to yourself. What stays in the house, what goes in the house stays in the house, right? Oh, yeah. That's a thing. Yeah. What happens in this house stays in this house. Oh, don't talk about auntie back there, because, let's put her in the back room. Or we don't talk about that uncle, or we don't talk about that child. Who? What child? I don't know that child. Or just totally say that they're not their children or family. Turning hardship into a badge of honor. We ate sugar sandwiches, and look at me. I turned out fine. Oh, you got a couple of extra whoopings. You be all right. Look how you turned out. You all right. You just fine. Am I? Am I just fine? Child. Shaming softness. Now, I really want to talk about this because there is a transition between a strong Black woman into this femininity, into this soft life, into this, I want to take care of myself. I don't really want to just use these terms. It's the life that you start prioritizing you, taking care of you. And you'll start noticing that, I don't treat myself very, very nicely. And I need to start doing it. And so you'll start seeing shaming over softness, where making you feel guilty for crying or resting. I remember sometimes back when, I don't take my age, but I'm about to be 40, okay? I'm about to be 40. And when you get 40, you know some things about some things. You start doing stuff differently. You like, that's not what I want. So one of the things I noticed in maturing and walking into this life where I take care of me, soft life doula here, I noticed that it was really hard for me to rest. I struggled resting. I remember on the weekends I used to drown, like I was not the hyper vigilant strong Black woman. I didn't have anything to do. I was working Monday through Friday, and then Saturday I was like, what do I do? And so when I would wash clothes, listen to the Word of God, or have the TV on. Have something in the oven, cooking. I struggled. And so don't let, oh Lord forbid, me get sick. Baby, depression will be back here. But when I get sick, it's like here, it's like, oh, you don't have nobody to take care of you. And, oh, you need to get up. You need to get up. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do that. Oh, I ain't got no support. It was really hard until I had to realize, first of all, I got a grown child. She wasn't grown then, but I remember a couple of times when she was 13 and having her to wash clothes, and she had to like, Ma, it's okay. I live here too. Like, I can do this. And so that's when I learned that, one, I was not alone. And two, it was okay for me not to do everything. And it was also okay for me not to like complete everything at one time. And I learned a lot. Just learned a lot. When your kids get older, you start looking around like, what am I supposed to do with all of this time and energy? So some underlining messages behind some of those, I guess, demeaning, dismissive tones and attitudes, that survival is enough. Healing, thriving, or being emotionally whole doesn't matter. Oh, I can really break in on how many times I realized that my emotional health matters. I would spend so much time trying to lose weight, look good. I remember when I used to always say, stunting on these hoes. I was stunting on these hoes always. If you know me, you know me, stunting on these hoes until one day my daughter was like, Mom, where are the hoes? And she wasn't old enough to be saying this, but I used to be stunting on these hoes, stunting on them. I say, and I told her, and I looked, when she said it, I was like, oh, snap, where are the hoes? And I was like, oh, somebody always watching, baby. Somebody always watching. Don't worry about it. Somebody watching. And that's when it hit me that I have some unresolved issues from my childhood and my middle school years of being bullied and things like that I was still holding on to and still was trying to stunt on these hoes. They could never. And I was looking at that like I need to do something about that, because I was still constantly living in the survival mode from those traumatic things, from the things I learned from a survival mode mother who was just constantly surviving from this situation, never fully recovering. I just kind of picked that up and learned how to do it. And I didn't. When you're growing up and you're being an adult, you don't stop to look at, am I doing this right? You're doing what you saw and what you were taught. And so it took some time for me to see that my mom was a single parent, a strong Black woman, single parent, and somehow I ended up the same way. And because of some of my behaviors and the things that I've done in my past, I look back like, oh, because I was raised by a single parent, I became a single parent. And so now I'm learning and looking back at how my childhood and how I was raised play a big part in who I am today. That was therapy. All right. So I know that our families did the best they could. So one of the things that what happens in the house stays in the house. It was, I guess, a form of trying to protect the family, but yet it oftentimes trapped us. Yes, very, very much trapped us into learning how to not advocate for ourselves, not speak up, of course. That's what that means. Shutting down, tolerating behavior. Oh, I remember some times where I've said to my daughter certain things, and she later on told me that I was teaching her how to tolerate love by saying that this person loved her and cared for her, but their behaviors and their actions did not show that. And I was flabbergasted. Here I am thinking I'm doing a good thing and doing better with the next generation. And I was, but I still, I guess, somehow was not. And I'm grateful that for the relationship that me and my daughter have. Wasn't without its trials. But I want to say that those trials brought us closer, and it also helped me to be a better parent. And I know that being a therapist definitely helped me to be a better parent. So our ancestors survived so we could heal. That's passing the baton, right? I know that we do a lot of blaming our ancestors, our parents. They only did what they could. I came to the conclusion. I came to the conclusion about my mom did what she could with what she had. And so if she knew, if I asked her what was a mother and did she fulfill that? And I said to myself, I'm quite sure she would. She would say a mother is a person that's supposed to protect you and love you. And of course, she's a woman of God, lead you to Christ. So, and I looked back and I said, she did those things. I have to release her because I'm holding her to a standard of mothering that she don't even know. And she's not even aware of. And so if the problem resides in me because she did what she was supposed to do according to what she knew how to do. Now, how I raise my daughter is according to how I believe a mother should be. That's nothing compared to how my daughter believes I should supposed to mother her. Like, my daughter has some ideas of mothering that I was not able to meet. So I had to let my mom free from, I guess, the nurturing, the emotional stability or environment. I don't think her generation knew that emotional stability was part of the package of parenting. I don't think they knew. I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew that. So y'all need to start forgiving y'all parents about some of this stuff. Like some of this stuff, I don't think they know. All right. So I want to go to the next part. I want to talk about the next part is the church. And I know this is going to be a touchy subject, but let's do it anyway, because I'm here to with grace. So I want to talk about how the church not only makes it a reward for struggling, but they use the Bible to do it. Okay. So one of the things that let's just pray about it. Let's just jump in there. Did you pray? What you mean did I pray? Like, did you? Of course I pray. Pray. Just pray about it. So just pray about it and just like, that's it. Like lay it on the altar. Oh Lord God. So for somebody who, I was raised in a church. My mom's a pastor. My dad's a pastor. Hi, mom and dad. So being raised in a church, I knew a lot of church etiquette. I knew a lot of the, I guess the protocols of how church was supposed to go. And sometimes it was confusing. A lot of times it was confusing. But I could just only imagine people who are not familiar with church coming into church and they just say, leave it at the altar. I'm like, leave what at the altar? Leave what? Like, leave this at the altar. But when I go home, it meets me at home. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to handle that? You know, so many of us were disciplined in endurance, but not in emotional literacy. So count it all joy. All things work together. These are, yes, beautiful truths that were sometimes used like a Band-Aid or on deep wounds. So it was like, okay, count it all joy that you fall into diverse temptations. Like, how am I supposed to count joy? How am I supposed to leave it at the altar? Like practical people like me struggled, baby. I struggled with with understanding some church things because I'm a strong Black woman. I'm living a perspective lifestyle of, but did you die? How am I supposed to surrender something at the altar when I don't have a plan on how to do this? Or what am I supposed to do afterwards? Like, I prayed. I think I left it at the altar. I don't know. But circling around me is still my thoughts. the anxiety or the depression that this is not resolved. What am I supposed to do? All right. And so I want to talk to those people to let them know that if you are a practical person, there are books out there. Can't think of any right now, but there are books out there to help. Somebody has went through what you're experiencing, and there's help. Branch out, connect, Google, Chat GPT, period. Don't feel alone in this journey of trying to understand how to become coming from practical and survival into flowing and allowing things to go day by day. It's a really hard transition. It's really hard, especially all your life you had to fight, especially being a Black woman. One of the things that we do solve problems. And so you're asking me who's a problem solver to lay it on at the altar. I don't know what that means. You're telling me to relinquish my rights, relinquish my control, relinquish the outcome that I know I'm going to get if I do it. It's going to be done right. What do you mean? What do you mean? Right. So I want to talk about 3 things that creates a healthy perseverance. And so there are 3 things. There are 3 P's: presence, partnership, practice. Presence. Does this keep pushing advice make me disappear? Or does it invite me to be present to myself and, for my Christians, girlies, God? Excuse me. So I want to transform the way we think with, but did you die? To come out of the survival mode of just pushing through and just doing and not understanding that strength is a fruit of healing, not a substitute for it. Right? It's okay to be strong, but part of being strong is having weak moments. That's also part of being a human. If we learn to outlast pain, can we learn to outlove it? With boundaries, therapy, rest, God. Like, I really want you guys to think about how much of my life is really being influenced by this perspective of just push through. Now, partnership. Do I have people, pastors, therapists, sisters, who can carry the corner of the mat when I am tired? Do you have people in your life, strong Black woman? And if you do, you don't call them. You don't ask them for help. And that could be very well of the stigma. And that could be very well the people you have around you. All right, practice. Is my faith visible in rhythms of rest or only in my capacity to keep going? So are we practicing what we preach? I'm working on it. And that's why I'm here. Not only for you, but for me to bring about a light of, hey, girl, you out of survival mode. You're not struggling. You don't have to keep hustling. What you running from? Who chasing you? On to the next. On to the next. What's next? What's next? Let's go. Go. Keep going. Keep going. Like, not only in my lifestyle, but in my beliefs in God, like how my beliefs shapes the way I understand hardship. Biblical endurance versus toxic resilience. When perseverance becomes a burden. A burden. I believe God created relationships for us to evolve and grow in. And a lot of times when we're, but did you die in survival mode, we hold on and we hoard and we just in survival mode. And you may attack your friend accidentally. Using scriptures often to justify pushing through suffering. We all know that, all things work together and count it all joy. But I want everybody to know as well, especially for those who went to church and Sunday school people, and we had to say scriptures and you didn't know many scriptures, but you know Jesus wept. Yes, that's the full scripture. Jesus wept. Jesus wept and he rested and he separated himself from the 12. He had his 3 faithful 3. And that speaks boundaries. That speaks time that he spent with himself and with the Father. Man, Jesus used to dip on them all the time. Look up, he was gone. I'll meet you over there. Right. I want to, emphasize the balance between faith, therapy, and self-care. The expectation of hardship, to tolerate and to ignore taking care of yourself and your needs hidden in wisdom. Right. All right. So going back to the just pray about it without taking action or real action, that's not wise, sis. I want you to take the time to really understand that that's not wise. It's not. If my girl is in their 40s, has it really worked? Has it been working? No. Moving from, but did you die, to, but are you whole? I know I got my survivalese, part girly, part survivalist. Survivalese. How embracing healing, therapy, and faith together is a radical form of self-love. I have started saying to myself that consistency is the love language I choose to give to my future self. And discipline, baby. All right, so let's go over some practical steps that we can start today to start changing the way we see ourselves, we see the world, and how we show up in the world. Okay. Therapy cues. Unlearning cultural narratives that glorify struggles. Are you living a lifestyle that is rewarding struggle? What are you doing in your life that's causing struggle? If you are doing things that struggle, because you want to do the hard way, you're hard-headed. But unlearning some of those cultural narratives. Start today. Encouraging Black women to rest, to heal, and to seek help without guilt, without shaming, without minimizing. Encouraging Black women, providing a safe space and a soft landing for Black women. Recognizing that faith and therapy are not opposites, they work together. All right. So culture told us to outwork our wounds. Christ invites us to befriend what hurts and bring it to him that he can mend it. Being vulnerable to him. God, I need help. I need you right now. Because if they say something to me again, they say one more thing. And of course they will, So a new way forward, rest therapy community Christ, reframing suffering in our lives, in our communities, and in our faith walk. So like I said before, Jesus rested, Jesus wept. He defines what strength looks like. So we should really be modeling him. I wonder, did he like pink? Anyway, faith doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means working through it with God and the right resources. These are for all my Christian girlies. And so let me go ahead and say that this podcast is for all. It's for all. It's definitely a support system for the Black woman. It's definitely a support system for the saved Black woman. It's the support system for the ones that thinking about being saved but don't know what that looks like with being different. Oh, I struggled with my mother with that. Like, what do you mean? I got stuff he want me to do. Do you see me? I'm loud. I'm extra. I my nails. I remember telling her this. Like, my nails. What? And she used to tell me, and she still tells me, that God has people who are going to hear you, who look just like you, who talk like you, who loves pink, who's a butterfly, sunflower, and a peacock. And then I thought about, like, who gonna say the hot girls? Who gonna say the thoughts? Who gonna save them? So I had to stop walking in fear. That's what it was. Fear of shame, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. Yeah, I'm human, just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. So faith doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means working through it with God and the right resources. So choosing rest as a radical act of faith, because it is a faith walk for the strong Black woman who has all their life they had to fight. Eat the cake, anime. All right. The importance of therapy and community support in addition to prayer. Pray. Yes. Keep your relationship with God close. Yes, close. Keep that. But also, like, God gave us people. I know we sing the song, "Long as I got King Jesus." And that's true. That's true. Yeah. But there's a scripture that says that the spirit doesn't dwell with man always. So you're going to need somebody to talk to, you know? All right. All right. And so encouraging a holistic view of healing, body, mind, and spirit, right? That is important. All five. I call it a fivefold ministry: mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. These are all the components that I work with my clients, of course. But these are also things that I work with within myself. I'm making sure my mental is taken care of, because my mind likes to think it tells the rest what it wants to do. Then sometimes the physical will tag team. Oh, I want to get up today. You know what my body like? I don't want to get on Stairmaster. I don't want to do it. Then emotional, like, oh, am I supposed to feel something? But the subconscious and the spiritual part is faith-based, but it's the inner child, it's the soul, it's the essence of who I am. It's my core beliefs, my narratives, the things that I learned in childhood, from childhood to I think 8 or 12. And then anytime trauma happens, it changes that. Or different things happen in my life, getting saved and other things, having a baby. These things change my perspective. And that's really what tells us what to do without telling us what to do. That inner part, that subconscious part, the quiet part. You say one thing, but you do another. That subconscious is telling the rest of the body what to do. And the mind is like, I don't want this. I want something different. I want better. I don't want to live, but did you die? I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to live in survival. It's got to be something better than this. Is this all that's out here? So 5 practical moves that you can do this week. Journal. I know y'all don't like to journal, but you don't have to write, because my hand, I got these nails. I am a phone tappity tap 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 person. Like, just find ways to get it out. I recommend journaling because sometimes the mind likes to make us feel like we're not doing enough and we should stop. Remember I said the mind and the, mentally and physically, they like to tie each other together. They like to do that. So, example, have you ever stopped working out? Of course you have. Of course you have. And you looked at your picture from like 3 months ago and you like, wait a minute. And you look at yourself and you look at that picture, who lied to me? I was doing good. You know who lied to you? You. You did. I did. I lied to myself because I wanted the comfort, the easy way out. I lied to myself so I didn't have to get up and get on that Stairmaster. I lied to myself. So it is important to journal, to leave. It's a record, to have records and proof and evidence that you are improving. So you can start journaling now in November, and in January, you're going to be like, oh, was I thinking like that? Oh my God, I was. Oh, let me pick up myself, dust off my feet and move forward. So I want you to start journaling. What did I minimize this week about myself, about my capabilities, about who I am, and what I can do? All right. What did I minimize this week with the but did you die perspective? Next would be that physical body check. One day a week, or as often as you can, unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Place a hand on your heart and say, I am safe, and breathe. This is safe. I am okay. You can get a lot of different safety, affirmations that you can say to yourself. Whatever works for you. You can say that I am safe, and you can say I am okay. I can make it through this. Yes, I feel this way. Validate your emotions. Yes, validate your emotions. But also know that oftentimes our emotions are not telling us the truth. Like, did he really say that, or did I think that? Like, a lot of stuff, like, we are arguing with people or getting into it with people and not understanding that perspective is everything. Life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you perceive it. I know it said how you respond. I like to say how you perceive it, because before you often respond, you have already thought about it. Or if you say, I responded body first, but that means you have already responded from a place of where you thought you were at and how you normally respond, who you are, and you see yourself a certain way. So you're responding from perception, perspective. Shift your perspective, shift your life. Life is 10%. 90% of it is how you see it and how you see yourself. So choose one no that protects your yes to health. There is a saying that for every time you say no, you are saying yes to you. For every time you say no, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I won't be able to do that today. There are some no alternatives you can have and look them up and use if you can't say no. Baby, I used to duck and dodge. You want me to tell you how you do that? Stop making yourself available. Duck and dodge. Duck and dodge until you're able to say no, people. Okay? Took me a long time to say no to some particular people. I kind of still duck and dodge. Anyway, therapy and tools. Get a therapist. Get a therapist. Or if you don't want to do therapy, listen to podcasts. Get some books. Better yourself. Like, you don't have to stay in this place. You don't have to stay in survival mode. Yeah, you're surviving now, but tomorrow, or today, you can choose to be an overcomer. All right. Ask for help. Ask somebody, can you check on me every Thursday to make sure I'm good, to make sure I'm taking care of myself? Like, you are not a burden. If you have friends, they're your friends. Or if you have friends and they're not your friends, then they're not your friends. And those who get it, get it. All right, so let's just wrap this up. So I want to give you a few affirmations that you can say. And matter of fact, I want you to say it with me, right? So let's say, I honor the woman who survived. That is you. I honor her. Her is me. I survived it. I honor her. Her is me. I survived it. I bless the woman who is healing today. I speak life over her today. I welcome the woman who is whole, and I nurture the one who is broken. Take time to let that sit in, because you made it. You didn't just die. You learned how to survive. And so today I want to get your minds, your heart, your soul, your spirit, whatever you believe in, thinking. How has the phrase, "but did you die," shape your response to struggle? Where has it helped and where has it harmed your healing? So if you are a survivor and you want to become an overcomer, or soft life, or present, share your story or a voice note to, and you can email it to me. But did you die with Monique Darnell, MoniqueDarnell. And so, or you can, there will be other platforms presented and posted under this YouTube. I don't know, whichever one my daughter go post it to. So I want to thank you for showing up for my very first podcast. And today makes you a survivor. Tomorrow you are an overcomer. Bye, survivors. Maybe your dreams did. You showed up for everybody, but left yourself behind.